My beloved son, listen carefully because what I have to say to you now can change the course of your life. Your daily choices shape the path you walk, and even the decisions that seem small have the power to transform your future. Do not underestimate the impact of what you allow into your life, for everything you expose yourself to has direct consequences on your soul. Every thought you entertain, every word you listen to, every influence you accept has the potential to build you up or tear you down. You can be watering fertile ground that will produce fruits of peace, joy, and purpose, or allowing seeds of destruction to take root within you, choking out all that is good. The question I ask you today is this: what have you allowed into your life? The world is full of voices trying to capture your attention. Some speak words of hope, but many whisper lies, fear, and destruction. They attempt to manipulate your perception, influence your decisions, and steer your heart away from the truth I have for you. The enemy does not need to attack you in a direct and obvious way. It is enough for him to infiltrate your mind with small compromises, small distractions, small distortions of the truth. Without realizing it, those voices begin to dominate your thoughts, control your emotions, and pull you away from the purpose for which you were created. Have you noticed how negative thoughts can poison your soul? How words of discouragement can drain your strength? How toxic relationships can lead you away from the path I have set for your life? Everything you absorb defines who you will become. If you allow your mind to be filled with darkness, you will soon be consumed by it. But if you nourish your soul with truth, you will find freedom. Your heart is like a garden. What you plant in it will determine the harvest you reap in the future. If you sow seeds of fear, insecurity, and doubt, you will harvest fruits of anxiety and hopelessness. But if you cultivate faith, obedience, and hope, your life will be filled with peace and fulfillment. The world tries to offer momentary pleasures that seem harmless but hide deep dangers. Small compromises, distractions disguised as normality, standards that contradict my word, yet are widely accepted by society. All these things quietly enter your life and begin to erode your faith. You might think these things don't make a difference, but every choice, no matter how small it seems, plants a seed within you. And remember, whatever you sow, you will reap. If you allow anxiety to take control of your mind, you will soon be consumed by fear. If you give place to anger, your heart will harden. If you feed greed, you will never find satisfaction. The enemy knows he doesn't need to bring you down all at once. He only needs to convince you to open the door to things that will gradually destroy your peace and draw you away from me. The distractions the world offers are like poisons disguised as nectar. Many times what you see, hear, and read shapes your way of thinking. You may not notice it immediately, but everything you consume influences your view of the world and yourself. The relationships you cultivate directly affect your heart. If you surround yourself with words of discouragement, sooner or later you will begin to believe them. If you live among people who do not follow my principles, you will eventually be shaped by their values and behaviors. The influences you allow into your life will define the kind of person you become. That's why I warn you, guard your heart, protect your mind, and keep your soul safe. Because everything that enters takes root, and everything that takes root grows. Your heart absorbs everything. Your heart is like a sponge. It absorbs everything it is exposed to. If you fill it with my word, it will overflow with faith, hope, and love. But if you expose it to fear, unbelief, and sin, it will become corrupted. Do not think you can consume any kind of content without being affected. What you see, hear, and read influences your perception of life. Have you chosen to fill your mind with words that build up or with words that destroy? Have you allowed your heart to be filled with hope, or have you given space to doubt and negativity? Every thought you cultivate shapes your life. If you dwell on fear, you will soon live a life of anxiety. If you repeat lies about yourself, you will start to believe them. But if you fill your mind with my truth, you will experience peace and confidence. Negativity is a silent poison. It slowly seeps in, weakens your spirit, steals your joy, and destroys your peace. When you focus on problems instead of the promises I have given you, your faith weakens. When you listen more to the voices of the world than to my voice, your vision becomes blurred. The enemy wants you to be confused, insecure, anxious, and far from me because he knows that a heart full of fear cannot trust. But I have called you to something greater. You were not created to live in darkness. You were not called to walk in confusion. I want you to experience a life full of purpose, peace, and true joy. But for that, you must decide what you will allow into your heart. You're not a mere spectator of what happens around you. Every day you make choices. What enters your mind, who influences your heart, and what seeds are planted in your soul. If you desire to live in peace, you must surround yourself with peace. If you want to experience my joy, my word must be the loudest voice in your life. If you desire to walk in faith, you must reject everything that feeds doubt. Your heart is a vessel. It can only hold so much. If you fill it with the things of the world, there will be no room for me. But if you choose to fill it with my goodness, my love, and my truth, then darkness will have no place to stay. So I ask you again, what have you allowed into your life? What has been consuming your thoughts? What has been influencing your heart? Today I invite you to make a decision. Do not let the world define who you are. Do not let the voices of doubt and fear dictate your path. I have called you to a life of fulfillment, but that life can only be experienced if you choose to nourish your soul with what comes from me. Choose life, choose truth, choose my presence. If you allow my word to fill your heart, your mind will be renewed, your vision will be transformed, and your life will reflect my glory. My child, I desire for you to experience everything I have prepared for you, but that depends on what you choose to feed within yourself. So guard your thoughts, protect your heart, and keep your mind safe. I am the source of life, and if you remain in me, you will never thirst. Trust in me and stay attentive to my words, for they are life for you. My beloved child, understand this. The battle for your soul is not fought in the distant future. It is happening now, in the daily choices you make. The enemy is not waiting for a great, obvious moment to strike. He works in the unseen, in the unnoticed, in the small cracks of neglect. That is why I tell you, do not be passive with your heart. Do not assume that what seems harmless is without consequence. The most dangerous deceptions are the ones that come disguised as wisdom, as entertainment, as what everyone else does. You have heard it said, a little leaven leavens the whole lump. Galatians 5:9. This is true in every area of your life. A little compromise in your purity opens the door for greater temptations. A small indulgence in sin today makes you less sensitive to my voice tomorrow. A single moment of entertaining a lie can begin to reshape your entire perception of truth. Do not let even the smallest seed of corruption take root in your heart, for once it grows, it will be harder to remove. Many have lost their way not because they openly rejected me, but because they allowed their hearts to be led astray, little by little. Solomon was the wisest man of his time, yet his heart turned away from me because he clung to influences I warned him against. 1 Kings 11:4. His downfall did not happen overnight. It began with small, repeated decisions to tolerate what I had called him to reject. The same can happen to you if you are not vigilant. Be mindful of the voices you allow to shape your thinking. Many today call what is evil good and what is good evil, Isaiah 5:20. They mock purity, dismiss obedience, and treat sin as entertainment. If you listen long enough, you may begin to wonder if my word is too extreme, if my commands are too rigid, but I do not change, and neither does my truth. What I called sin yesterday is still sin today, and it will be sin tomorrow. You may say, but everyone else does this. It's just the way the world is. But I have never called you to live as the world lives. I have called you to be set apart. What fellowship can light have with darkness? If you desire to walk with me, you must be willing to walk against the current. It will not always be easy, but I will give you the strength. Do not make decisions based on what is convenient. Make them based on what is eternal. Do not live for the approval of people. Live for the approval of your Father in heaven. For what good is it to gain the whole world but lose your own soul? You do not need to fear missing out on what the world offers. What I have prepared for you is greater. Every sacrifice you make for my name's sake will be rewarded. Every temptation you resist strengthens you. Every moment you choose to obey me draws you closer to the abundant life I have promised. Guard your eyes, for the eye is the lamp of the body. What you continually look at, you will desire. If you fix your eyes on impurity, lust will take root. If you fix your eyes on worldly success, greed will consume you. But if you fix your eyes on me, you will be filled with light. Guard your ears. Faith comes by hearing, but so does doubt. The words you listen to shape your faith. If you constantly consume the voices of fear, discouragement, and rebellion, you will struggle to trust me. But if you fill your ears with my word, your faith will be strengthened. Guard your thoughts. As a man thinks in his heart, so is he. Your mind is the battlefield where the enemy seeks to plant lies. Do not entertain every thought that enters. Measure it against my truth. If it does not align with my word, cast it down. Guard your relationships. Bad company corrupts good character. The people you surround yourself with either push you closer to me or pull you away. Do not be deceived into thinking you can walk with the wise while keeping the company of fools. Choose your companions carefully. Guard your habits. The small things you do every day are forming the person you will become. If you neglect prayer today, you will struggle to hear my voice tomorrow. If you compromise in one area, it will soon spread to others. But if you discipline yourself in righteousness, you will grow in strength. Do not ignore my warnings. The enemy tells you that there is always more time, that you can delay obedience without consequence. But delay is often the doorway to disobedience. I call you today, not tomorrow, not when it's convenient, but now. To examine
When you correct them, do so in love,
with me.
not in
This is not
frustration.
about legalism.
When you address
This is
your
about
spouse,
love.
do
If you
so
love
with
me, you will
honor,
keep
not
my
with
commandments.
contempt.
The
Not because
atmosphere
you're
of your
forced
home
to,
is
but
shaped
because
by
you
what is
trust
spoken within
that
its
I know
walls.
what is best
Will your
for
house
you.
be filled
My commands
with
are
words
not
of blessing
burdensome,
or with
they are the
words that
path to
invite
freedom.
destruction? Come to me, and I will renew
Your home must be
I
a
will
place where
remove
my
what has been
presence dwells,
poisoning
not
you
just
and
a place where
replace
you
it with my
occasionally
peace.
pray.
But you must surrender
Many
what
seek
does not
me
belong
only
in
when
your
trouble
life. Let
comes.
go of the
But
distractions.
I call you to walk with
Lay
me
aside
daily.
the sin. Return to the life I have called you to. Now choose this day whom you will serve.
Your home must be a
Will
place
you
where my
follow the
presence
world, or will you
dwells, not
follow
just
me?
a place where you
Please
occasionally
subscribe
pray.
to receive more of
Many
my
seek
truth,
me only when
and
trouble
turn on
comes, but I call you to
notifications so
walk
you
with me
never miss
daily.
what I have to say to you.
Do not let prayer be a last resort, but a constant